Hello, Phantom Fam. Guess who's back on her game? That's right, me. I'm on my 12-week grad program break. I'm finally getting enough sleep, and I have time to actually enjoy myself again. And my other problems are either being dutifully ignored or resolved, so I hope you're ready to sit back and relax with the two of us, Kate and Nat, as always, and go wading into the void. Now, before we begin, I would like to ask you, can we queue up an Eminem classic? Because guess who's back again. Katie's back. Tell your friends,
Now, okay.
Today, I am going to be kicking off a new mini-series. This is the one that we hinted at about 7 times in our last episode that we didn't even intend to hint at, but it just kept coming up. And I'm very excited. Nat knows what it is. It's not a surprise.
Nope.
And, I think you guys are really gonna like this one. Because we all remember our Cryptids mini-series and how much fun that was and how much we were always looking forward to Nat's new episodes. So we're going to piggyback off of that excitement a little bit and dive into the world of urban legends that span across the United States. We'll get into some weird tales, spooky stories, and so much more with this mini-series, and I can't wait for you to hear every bit of it. Spanning 7 parts and focusing on different regions, all of us are going to learn about different locations across the United States. So, without further ado, let's do our Oracle and Tarot, which Nat has got ready for us today. And then we'll just shift right on over into our first batch of urban legends.
Alright. So, for our oracle for today, we are going back to The Enchanted Map by Colette Baron Reed. And today, we got Cleaning House. And it says, it's time to clear the clutter to make way for better things. So this card I pulled reversed. So let's just read the reversed meaning. It says, why do you hold on to things that remind you of the past? Is your home cluttered with objects that bring up unhappy memories? Do you have a tendency to attract broken people who need to be fixed? If you're involved in this type of emotional project, stop right now and clean house. Being needed isn't going to get you what you really need. That said, even if you initially resist letting go of excess physical or emotional baggage, you'll feel amazing afterward. Let go and let the universe bring you something better. Make space. The universe doesn't like a vacuum and will respond to your house cleaning by filling your home with what will best serve you. So, okay.
Yeah, it's saying, get the fuck over it, bitch. It's time to move on.
But also, it's like, do you often find yourself... This is a very personal poll for me, because I was like, I feel like I need something. Like, tell me something. And I've been looking at my, things in my house, and my sister just dropped off a bunch of stuff from my parents' house that's from when I was a kid, and I'm just I don't know what to do with all this stuff. I feel like I want to get rid of everything in my house, but also I have this tug on my heart that's this is my stuff, or this has some type of sentimental value to me, and I don't know what to do with it, but I don't want to get rid of it. And then the whole, do you attract broken people who need to be fixed? I personally, I don't think it's, my duty to do anything like that, or whatever. But I do feel like a lot of the people that surround me have that desire of, there's something wrong with me, like I need some people around me to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Or I feel like a lot of the people around me that I'm very close to have, like, mental health issues and stuff. But I don't think it's my... Like, I try to help people as much as I can. What?
People around you don't have mental health issues?
Nah. No, but, like, I just remember growing up...
I get what you're saying.
And friends I had in high school were coming to me and being, like, telling me that their parents were abusive, or, like, telling me that they had, trigger warning, an eating disorder.
Oh, this is coded.
So, like, I don't know. This one was just, like, deep, okay? But I think that...
Fair.
It also just... This card is a reminder, if you find yourself falling into these habits of, okay, here's this person, they have some kind of problem, I want to help them with the problem, even though it's not my responsibility, it's theirs, and then taking on their own responsibility of their problems, this card is telling you, stop falling into that habit. Clear house. Get rid of these people who could be amazing people, but it's toxic to take on other people's problems like that.
I feel that you have gotten much better about this over the years.
Yeah.
In the time that we've been friends, I've definitely seen you grow more as a person in your ability to say no to certain circumstances, especially ones like this.
Yeah.
So I'd like to say, yes, maybe you still might have some work to do to continue to shut that shit down.
Yeah.
But you have grown so much, and you should be incredibly proud of yourself.
Yeah, I definitely think I have. I mean, I'm still gonna be a soft-hearted person.
Yes, no,
like,
you are kind, that's for sure.
But, I don't know. So I think that card is also really interesting for those people who are also like me, who are like, these are my things, I don't know what to do with them, but I can't get rid of them. So, like, maybe it's time for a summer cleaning. Maybe it's time for a big cleaning before it starts getting cold outside. Donate your clothes to a local, like, clothing drop box or whatever. Donate anything that you can that is usable for people who are going to go to, like, Goodwill or something like that.
I think this weekend you and I should both just sit down and have a frickin' purge of things, because it is something I also desperately need to do.
It's just like,
so
I think I've just really been struggling with depression the past month, I think, and when I get really depressed, it's like a hoarding situation, and not like Hoarders, like the show. It's like I have a hard time, like, organizing things or getting rid of things that I know I don't need. And I'm not, like, keeping literal garbage. It's like, oh, this little, I don't even know.
This knick-knack I've had since I was 5.
Yeah.
I can't let go of
Exactly. It's like, okay, this thing that I know I really don't need at all, but I can't part with. And especially when I'm, like, depressed, that's when it's like, things are just so disorganized, thrown all over the floor in some area. Like, not in the mostly livable areas of my house, but, like, my office. It's like, yeah, let me just trash my entire office, and we'll be trying to walk through and not even be able to go anywhere. It's not that bad. But, yeah. I don't know.
But you're like, I need to clean.
Yeah. So,
that's okay. Baby steps.
Let's just move on to the tarot. So, the tarot for today is the Wild Unknown Tarot by Miss Kim Crans. And today we got the Three of Wands, which is a really good card. It represents envisioning the future. So it indicates that you've had some type of continued support from others, perhaps from parents or 2 really good friends. with their help, you formed a sense of self and your values and of your values and morals. So these people are like your guardians in some way. But now, it's time to rely on yourself for guidance. Clarify your goals and cast others' needs and opinions aside. The future is infinite, and it is yours. No one else can see through its layers of light and shadow. So basically, this card is like, you've gotten this guidance for basically all your life from these people who are not, I guess, an authority figure, but more like maternal or paternal figure. And it's your time to really separate yourself from them and grow as your own person. And you could take the morals and values that they've given you, but you can expand upon that with your own opinions and your own beliefs. Which, I think this card is also a me card. Because it's just, these are things that I've just struggled with my entire life, like morals, beliefs, and understanding of the world and stuff. But also going back to like me being a mess, my life being a mess, or my house being a mess. It's like all these things my parents are exactly like. I took after them in those ways. My mom kept a big giant bucket of like VHS tapes for the last like 15 years. For no reason, because they have one tiny TV with like a VH player and they don't even use it. Or VHS. So like, I don't know.
Your mother is vibing.
Yeah. But also,
she is living her best life.
But also, I know, I might have talked about this before, but like, I struggle a lot with my money. Like, I had a severe shopping addiction. And I think a lot of misogynists are like, haha, women and their shopping. But it's like, as soon as I bought my house, it was like severe crippling debt because I wanted to get things for my house to fix it or make it better in some way. And then I just started buying everything. And I got myself into such a big hole, I didn't know how to get out. And for a while, my mom was like completely controlling my financials. And I'm an accountant, so it's really embarrassing to even admit. But recently, within the past couple months, since June, I have taken over most of my funds, and I literally go through my bank every single day. I go through all of my planned expenses, and I'm planned all the way out till like October right now.
Wow.
And my expenses for every single week.
That's impressive.
So like, I'm not controlling, like, my mortgage payment and stuff like that. Like, that's money I save in another bank account and comes into my bank account. But, like, I get a specific portion of money on a weekly basis, and that's what I'm planning out. All these other expenses that I dug myself into that I'm just trying to get out. And I'm proud of myself for actually keeping track of it. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm cleaning house. I'm cleaning house.
You are. You're killing the damn thing.
Yeah, so there's my sob story for today.
She's like, tragic.
It's tragic, but I'm fixing it. I'm doing it, and I don't plan to give any more time complaining about it. So let's get into urban legends before I start crying.
It's time for urban legends.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
I was gonna keep it going, but I'm like, you know what? Just go into it.
Yeah.
Don't need to fuck around and find out.
Let's just do it.
It should come as no surprise to Nat or any of you listening that we're kicking this off with New England.
Of course.
Home.
Of course.
Specifically Vermont, because it's the best part of the country.
First of all,
I said what I said.
Second of all, why wouldn't we start with New England. It just makes sense to go like east to west, east to west. Not really clockwise.
So I'm actually kind of jumping around a little bit.
I'm just kidding.
She's like, I'm just gonna...
Instantly balls my eyes out. No, I'm kidding.
Here, I'll give you the order.
Whap, whap, whap.
She's like, I fucking hate this place.
That's me playing my fake soundboard.
Oh my gosh. Alright, so part 1 will be New England.
Sorry.
Part 2, the Midwest.
Oh, okay.
Part 3, the Southwest.
Whoa. Okay.
Part 4, the Southeast.
Oh, okay.
Part 5, the Northwest.
Oh.
Part 6, the South. And Part 7, the Great Lakes.
What?
I wanted to go...
very confused. It's like an X, but then it comes back up.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I wanted to zigzag around
the
this
Great
bitch.
Lakes are gonna have a shit ton of stuff, so...
Exactly, and that's why I was like, yeah, we're ending there because we are in Appalachia.
Yeah.
So that's the best one to end on.
True.
Because with Appalachia, you're gonna get the wildest shit. So... we're going to actually kick it off with Vermont.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
And it's a great place to start because this legend is actually kind of insane, especially for the state of Vermont.
Is it the pig man?
No.
Okay.
I have never heard of this one before I was researching this, but I think it's because it's more northern Vermont.
Is it the
so
Manticore?
us southern Vermonters might not be like privy to it.
I have a question before we start.
Yes.
Are these going to be, like, creatures? Or stories? Or...
a mixture.
Okay, cool.
So, I basically went with what I found to be, like, the coolest urban legend from every state, in my personal opinion.
Urban legends aren't too different from cryptids.
Cryptids definitely fall into the category of urban legend, for sure.
But urban legends are more human. In most cases.
Yes.
Okay. In case anybody was wondering.
Yes. So there is going to be a little bit of a difference.
Okay.
We're not just going to go over more cryptid creatures.
Yeah.
We are going to do some stories, like weird things passed down through generations, written in journals and
exciting
accounts in newspapers, and things that have just kind of stood the test of time that basically have no business doing so.
Like mermaids. Well, mermaids have business, but, like...
that is true, but that is a perfect example.
Yeah, because, like, they saw a manatee, and they were like, that's kind of sexy. And then they were like, let's give it boobs and hair. And then...
what you gonna do with all those...
I'm gonna drown you, gonna drown you. Anyway. Okay.
Okay, so we're bringing that cryptid crackhead energy to it, too. So I love that. Perfect. So, like I said, I haven't heard about it. I think it's more northern Vermont. Mm-hmm. So, like, we both might be unfamiliar with this.
Okay.
And I was going to actually put a disclaimer out there to the audience that I know it might be hard to believe that we might not know about it because, Vermont is literally one of the smallest states in the union.
Literally.
But it can happen.
But I feel like southern Vermont and northern Vermont are very separate.
Oh,
There's like a completely different culture in northern Vermont. And I know that's hard to believe from some of you New Jersey and New Yorkers who are moving to fucking Vermont and don't understand, like, any of Vermont culture. No. But, like, whatever.
If you are from Jersey or, like, New York City, your best bet is upstate.
Your best bet is to
you'll meet your
not come! Sorry.
The cost of living is high enough. Don't price
you're literally killing us. Stop coming here. And, like, nobody's talking about it.
We could totally get into that if any of you listening are interested on another episode, but we'll leave it on that today.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. That's the tea.
But Nat, if you've heard of this legend or any of the other ones, please let me know.
Okay.
Like, as we go through.
Okay, cool.
So, like I said, we're starting with Vermont, and we are going to be talking about the Frozen Hill people.
Never heard of it.
awesome.
What if I start crying and I recognize this as something I've experienced?
I don't think you're not going to experience this one. I guarantee.
Right.
You have not.
Alright.
So this urban legend originated in an article published on December 21st, 1887, on the front page of the Montpelier Argus and Patriot.
I wasn't born yet. Didn't happen to me.
No.
Immediately no.
Immediately no.
So this is a one-time occurrence.
No.
Okay. Continue. I'm sorry.
No, I love the questions because it's going to make it hilarious the more we get through if you keep asking questions like you are right now.
Yeah.
According to the author of this article, he found this account in a journal entry of a man named William, which was his uncle.
Okay.
A journal entry that detailed the story of one of Vermont's family's yearly sacrifice.
What? Oh, yeah. These are your relatives, Katie, the mountain people.
No fucking shit. Like, a little far north, but like, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh my god. Okay, let's hear about the sacrifices.
According to good old Uncle William, one mountain family, located about 20 minutes from Montpelier, reportedly froze and forcefully hibernated their elderly and frail family members for the winter.
What? How do you force... Wait, how do you forcefully hibernate someone? 1. 2, how do they survive being frozen? 3,
we'll get into it.
What?
I was like, I cannot believe Vermont has a fucking crackhead story this wild.
I'm not surprised.
We're starting it with this.
I'm not surprised. Some cracked out, weird ass people
live in these mountains.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they never come down, so you never see them, New Jerseyans. But I'm not selling you on the stage.
But when you encounter them, you
better watch the fuck out. Okay.
One eye'll be going this way, the other one that way, and they might piss at your ass. You don't know.
Them mountain folk. Their family tree is a wreath. Swear to God.
Fun fact, gonna interject here.
Oh no, you're gonna tell the cousin stealing boyfriend story or whatever?
That was one grandmother. I'm gonna talk about the other.
Okay.
So, I feel like you brought it up, so I have to share it. But, my grandmother on my mother's side, she actually ended up stealing the boyfriend of her cousin, who I believe was like, I want to say like 25, when she was 16 or 17. She snatched his ass.
Oh.
And they were married for, I want to say 25 years or so.
Damn.
Before my grandfather passed.
Mm-hmm.
But the, what I was gonna tell is, on my father's side, I traced my grandmother's family tree back to, I want to say, the late 1800s, early 1900s. I don't remember off the top of my head. Mm-hmm. But what I do remember is that it was actually a fucking circle. This branch of my grandmother's family, like, married their, like, first cousin, had a bunch of kids, and then they literally, every single one of them, got, like, smallpox or the typhoid and died.
I was not expecting that. But...
No, that was interesting to come across. Because first I was like, excuse me, what?
Oh,
wait.
My God.
I'm like, they are first cousins. Which maybe that's okay for, like, the crown in England, but it's not for me. You know?
It's not for most people. Just saying. Usually if most people aren't doing something, it's probably because it'll eventually kill your entire family tree. And horribly disfigure them.
Basically, I guess they all came out, like, incredibly fucked up.
Yeah, I believe it.
And there was, I guess, like, 7 kids or something. And then they oh god, like some type of whatever disease was spreading at the time, and every
typhoid.
single one of them died.
Tuberculosis or some shit.
It could have been tuberculosis. I don't fully remember. But I do believe they were mountain folk. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Right? It checks.
Maybe this was the cult, or what, the family cult or whatever you're about to tell me about. I'm speculating before I even hear it. Maybe they were like killing their elders or killing people in order to like get supernatural powers. Like they're like I just imagine, because if they're a circle, right, they're all standing in a circle, but also in a like literal circle genealogically. And then they all just die. I don't know.
I mean, the full moon is involved in this legend.
And a full moon is a circle.
Yeah, so we'll leave it at that before we go in. As the story goes, for many New England farmers, including my family, food became scarce during the winter, a common theme in Vermont history, as many farming families in the area were made up of more than a dozen family members. Now, I forgot I actually put in here a section that says, now, you might be saying, holy shit, more than a dozen family members? No way! But what was cheaper, hiring a farmhand or having your children work on the farm for free?
Yeah, which we've talked about this so many times.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, what could people even afford back then?
Nothing.
Yeah.
And then it goes on to say, I can attest to this, since both sides of my family were farming families for a long time, each one of my grandparents coming from a family with a dozen or so siblings.
Yeah, that's so crazy to me.
But since we already talked about the wreath on my grandmother's side, I'm not going to go into it anymore.
Yeah, we're good.
Anyway, their supplies for the winter were nowhere near enough to get them through the brutal months ahead. So, the resourceful bunch, they found a solution, and it involved the older and more fragile family members. Basically having a long nap.
That ain't right.
In his journal, you'll see just how not right it is.
Oh, God.
In his journal, Uncle William details the events he witnessed firsthand one night with the farming family. William watched several people in the family drug 6 others, 4 men and 2 women, while inside a warm cabin in the mountains.
Okay.
The rest of the family continued to do their remaining chores while the drugs took effect.
Oh, God.
But once the 6 victims were unconscious, they stripped them down to their underwear and dragged them out into the cold.
Okay.
It didn't take too long for the Vermont winter weather to blanket the mountain, freezing the bodies and beginning to, cover it with snow. Under the full moon, the bodies began to freeze and turn white, taking on a faint glow.
No. What the hell?
Once the bodies were frozen to the bone, the conscious family members placed them inside wooden boxes that were packed with cushions of straw to guard from not only the elements, but the predators who call the mountain home. They didn't need Grandpa Jim losing an ankle in the winter,
while he was quote-unquote hibernating. Okay.
Yeah. Icy winds and feet of snow kept the bodies frozen and buried from January to May. But come spring, the family decided that, it was time to unthaw their elders. So after picking away at the ice and that was gluing the boxes together, the bodies were once again laid out on the cold ground.
This is spring. I already know somebody from Vermont did not come up with this. They're holding them from January to May?
Yeah.
What about October, November? And why May when it's already hot outside?
Well, to be fair,
I guess they're in the mountains.
They are in the mountains. And
but December.
They're used to the cold hitting the mountains early anyway.
Yeah.
But you can still harvest quite a bit from the garden until November. So specifically like root vegetables like carrots
And I guess
parsnips.
they'd probably want to celebrate Christmas with their grandparents before they,
yeah,
knock them out, throw them in a
just
bucket or whatever.
Just have one moment.
Yeah.
Because if there is one holiday that the mountain folk really do get behind, two, I guess, is Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Okay.
So
so that makes sense then. Okay.
They love it. It's very much a time to get together with your family up there. So
okay.
I say it kind of checks. I mean, there might be some outside influence for sure.
Okay.
But so the bodies were laid out on the ground, basically letting the mid-spring weather try and like defrost them themselves.
Mm.
But from there, the bodies were soaked in hemlock baths.
Oh, okay.
Apparently hemlock was the little, special sauce to wake them up.
I think hemlock is attributed to a lot of supernatural things.
Definitely so.
Like creatures are said to live in like hemlock forests or whatever.
The color started to return to their skin within a few hours, and the elders' limbs began to twitch. The family members then spent the remaining time massaging them to encourage blood flow until they finally woke up. So not only did you literally freeze Grandpa through the winter, but now you're going to massage him for hours to wake him back up.
So, like I said, their family trees probably agree.
At this point, they dragged the people inside and placed them in front of a fire, where they were given a hefty meal, because they haven't eaten for months. So after eating, they seemed back to their old selves, if not better, for a 4-month-long nap.
True. I need one of those.
Same. After the tale of the frozen people was published, the story began to spread across the country.
Wow.
So this is where that, influence could come in at some point.
Yeah.
It has been a long time since this one was published. But even to this day, many older Vermonters in this area specifically believe the legend.
That's crazy. Well, okay, here's my question about Uncle Bill.
Yes.
Why the hell is he just watching these people?
I have no idea why the fuck he was there.
Being a mega voyeur and writing it in his damn diary?
I mean, I did tell you that people in these mountains do take the holidays very seriously.
What holiday is this voyeurism?
Maybe it was New Year's. I don't know. But I could tell you so many stories about people that aren't actually family members being at these gatherings on the holidays. Because they've been, around the family for so many years, they're basically inaugural members.
So you think William was somehow a part of the family, writing about his family?
I'd say he was, adopted into said family.
Because
I wouldn't put it past it.
Imagined when you were explaining it was he was just sitting out in the woods
outside
watching them do this, man, this family's fucked up, writing it Dear Diary. This family just dragged some old people outside. Dear Diary, 4 months later. So it's been 4 months.
Fucking watching them.
And they pulled the bodies out of the snow. I see them massaging Grandpa's little chicken wings. Send help. Love, Uncle Bill.
I believe he is somehow a part of this family.
Man. I was imagining him
married into the
family. I
was
just imagining the major stakeout of 5 months. Maybe Uncle Bill's actually Bigfoot.
I'm here for it. I'm
it's Bigfoot has a diary. Yes. Oh my god.
He somehow managed to educate himself and procreate later down the line because this guy has
it's
a nephew.
That shitty movie, My Dad is Bigfoot.
Yes.
Okay, let's just continue.
That's pretty much the end of this one.
Okay.
I mean, but like I said, many older people in the area still believe the legend. And then I ended it with the fact that There is magic in these green mountains.
What? How does the song go? The Vermont song?
Oh, I know what you're freaking talking about.
I can't even think of it.
It's like scratching the back of my brain, but it's not coming forward.
It's like, these green hills and silver waters
That's it!
are my home. They belong to me. Yeah. I don't know the rest I don't know where that came from.
When you were forced to sing that in
literally
fucking chorus.
just came to the front of my mind. I felt it pull to the front of my mind. That was crazy. And we were in harmony. That was right crazy.
We were. We did it. Let us know if you want us to drop the full version.
The full Vermont album. It's half ballads and half rap.
I was gonna say we do a shitty collab with the guy that's like, what's that popular song?
I was gonna say Cupcake.
The one that's like, Vermont is the season of the sticks.
What? The Noah guy?
Yeah, he's from Vermont.
Yeah, I know that. I don't know any of his songs. I never heard Season of the Sticks. What the hell is he talking about? Damn, I mean, that's literally Vermont. Whatever he just said.
Right?
That gave me goosebumps and made my eyes tear
Homie's
up.
got it down.
Yeah. Okay, Noah. Okay, you can join our album. Okay,
Noah. It's not like your song would be the only one that would sell.
I said we should collab with Cupcake for a Vermont song. So I think she would do it if we were like the Vermonsters.
She takes these green hills
she'd be like,
and mix it with.
She'd be like the Vermonsters. Go, go, go.
Oh, fucking great. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, we're moving to Massachusetts.
Oh, thank God.
The Massachusetts urban legend is an ancient one that centers around a small location 4 miles from Pittsfield.
Okay.
A city, by New England terms, might I add, in western Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm. Big city.
Known as the Wizard's Glen, this haunted spot has roots in Native American folklore due to reports of indigenous shamans carrying out ritual sacrifices on something called the Devil's Altar.
Oh.
You might have heard of this one.
This sounds
I'm familiar with this one. The Wizard's Glen is a stone-covered valley that produces ongoing echoes and is said to be haunted by the daughter of Miahakomo. I'm gonna try my best with the indigenous names.
Okay.
An honorable and powerful chief who used to reside in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Worth noting is that much of the aspects of this long-standing legend originate from the Puritan rumor mill.
Mm.
So, don't take it all to heart.
No.
The Puritans had an immense fear of the wilderness, something kind of unavoidable in New England.
Yeah,
also, kind of their fucking fault for settling where they did, but that's another discussion for another day.
Yeah.
This group, shockingly, also misunderstood the Hobomako, an indigenous entity known for making a lot of noise.
Okay.
For many settlers, and eventually the colonists of Massachusetts, the Hobomako presented itself as the devil, which marked the Wizard's Glen as a place littered with black magic and entirely evil. So
they really just believe anything they hear.
Yeah. They're also just like, ooh, something we don't understand.
Oh, let's make it evil! Let's make it evil and hate it! Black magic!
Now, I feel like this is the part of the legend that you might have heard of, if you've heard of it at all.
Okay.
Because this is the most famous part, and it comes in the form of Christian, Puritan, Catholic, whatever gratification, and involves an English hunter named John Chamberlain.
Okay.
John sought shelter in the Wizard's Glen during a severe rainstorm while he was out hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout the night, he struggled to fall asleep from all of the noises around him, and, can't just be the fucking storm. Gotta be something crazy. But suddenly, he was overcome with a vision.
Oh. Okay, John of Revelations.
Of various demons and indigenous shamans gathering in the forest around him to perform a ritual sacrifice.
Oh my... Bro is just racist.
Yeah. So, at this point the devil appeared. We can assume this is the Hobomako, and accepted the sacrifice of the young indigenous girl. This is when John Chamberlain, the fucking saint himself, broke out his trusty Bible.
Oh my god. What is the creature that you were talking about?
The Hobomako?
Yeah.
It is basically just like a, kind of like a trickster spirit.
Oh, okay.
So his whole brand is he just loves to make noise.
So...
Like, that's all he does. He's pretty much a poltergeist.
Okay.
An indigenous poltergeist.
Okay.
But, John broke out his trusty Bible, began to recite various passages, scaring off the Hobomako and saving the life of the young girl.
I think he was just louder.
I have 3 points.
Okay.
1, we don't condone ritual sacrifice.
No.
2, Christian missionaries began to fully implement their Christian beliefs in the 1738 in this area, meaning if the indigenous people in the area were at one point performing ritual sacrifices, they likely would not have been continued by the time that John Chamberlain was on his hunt in the 1800s.
True.
3, would whatever anti-demon juju in the Bible even work on indigenous spirits? That one's more of a question.
All of this sounds very plausible for reasons why he's completely bullshitting, because he's just racist. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the people that were the indigenous people that were still residing in this area at the time, I believe, were the Mohicans. And, like, it was either the Mohicans or I believe it was the Mohawks.
Mohawks, yeah.
Yes.
And I had to think about it for a second.
They weren't even, like, about that shit.
Yeah, they were probably like, what is this dude on about?
They were like, dude, we fucking love the Hobomako. He fucking comes and makes noise.
Well, even if if he said, he's saying it's the devil.
Yes.
So I guess he wouldn't know what it is. But still, they would have been like, why would we do any dealings with the devil? We don't even believe in the devil.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
The devil is something that you created, you Puritans. Like,
we have devil-like beings in our own religion. We don't need your devil. Like,
yeah, it's so random. It's, whatever.
Yeah.
He's obviously lying.
I pretty much ended it with, as we know from history, Jesus is the answer to everything, and the white man is the ultimate savior. So I guess we should just get on our knees and thank John Chamberlain for his service.
Oh, God. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, apparently, that's crazy. I can't with men named John Chamberlain.
Yes, John Chamberlain took on the fucking worst indigenous spirit of them all.
Apparently he took on the devil himself.
Yes. John Chamberlain.
And you know what? You know what passage he probably read was like, love thy neighbor?
Hold on, what was the fucking name of the guy from Pocahontas?
John Smith.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty damn
I'm like,
close.
alright, so
Chamberlain
more Johns.
is like pretty generic, like Smith.
Yes, okay. Regardless, many people in the Berkshires, which is where Pittsfield is located, still believe that the Wizard's Glen is haunted and cursed to this day. So,
I mean, I feel like if I was a spirit, I would curse it because I'd be pissed off that some guy was like reading to me in the woods while I'm trying to like talk to someone. Like he's like screaming, he's screaming the Bible at me. I'd be like, no, sir. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we should go investigate the Wizard's Glen. I was going to ask some point,
if we can.
If we can get to it.
Is it accessible? I don't even know.
I want to say yes. I believe it's just like a tiny hike.
Okay.
Teeny tiny.
Alright.
Make a note of it. We'll look after.
Okay.
Next up on our list is New Hampshire.
Live free or die!
Live free or die, motherfucker!
Motherfucker!
There was this woman I used to work with, and she was from New Hampshire, grew up there, and she basically told me that their version of YOLO was live free or die, am I right?
I mean, true. None of them
And
wear
I'm like,
fucking helmets
okay.
when they ride motorcycles. They don't tax alcohol.
They do not.
They don't care.
New Hampshire is such a wild place.
It is the Wild West of New England.
Honestly, yeah.
Literally. It's
like,
the
when
most
you think of shitty New England, you think of Connecticut, but I swear to God, it's New Hampshire.
I wouldn't say New Hampshire's shitty. I would say it's crazy. Like,
Did I say shitty?
Yeah.
Hand
in hand, probably.
They don't have income tax, so...
Work. Oh my god, don't say that. All the YouTubers are gonna start coming there.
They can go to fucking New Hampshire all they want, as long as they don't come
Yeah, but that
here.
means they're gonna travel across the border and come here. Not that that's
New
necessarily
Hampshire's
an
fantastic.
issue. Yeah, New Hampshire's fantastic, and you should totally never come to Vermont. Nah.
They have a sales tax of 20%.
They're, like, all in Texas. It's okay.
That is so oddly true. Anyway.
That's because Texas doesn't have income tax. Oh my god.
Our next urban legend lurks in the dense forest of Coos County, New Hampshire.
Okay.
The mysterious wood devils, because now we are talking about devils,
okay,
have been the talk of the town since the 20th century. People near the Canadian border whisper constantly about their strange encounters with tall, hairy creatures that hide in the wood. And no, the wood devils aren't your run-of-the-mill Bigfoot. They're entirely their own breed.
But are they hot?
I don't believe so. From what they said.
Okay.
But I'm gonna describe them right now so you can tell me. I mean, part of it I feel like would check out for the monster fucker books you read, but like the last bit I think kind of like gets rid of it a bit.
Okay.
According to those who claim to have seen them, these creatures are about 7 to 9 feet tall, covered in grayish fur, and are stick thin.
Oh, don't like it. Nope.
Yep, there it is.
I want them big and juicy. I'm so sorry.
I need a big boy. Give me a big boy. I need a big boy.
Oh, man.
They seamlessly blend into their surroundings, making them almost invisible against the heavily wooded forests of the Granite State. When you think you spotted one, blink and it'll be gone.
Oh, shit.
The legend claims that the wood devils are shy and skittish and steer clear from humans entirely. Eerily silent, they move through the woods, sticking close to the base of the trees. They are, like, literally trying to become a stick.
They're like
they
giant
don't want you to see
stick
them.
bugs.
Pretty much.
That's scary.
Some locals claim to have personally encountered the wood devils. As one story goes, a man who was going on a hunt in the fall froze mid-step as a tall figure stepped out from behind a bunch of trees, only to vanish after he blinked.
Oh.
Other tales detail strange cries echoing behind the trees in the dead of the night. And despite numerous alleged sightings, no one has ever collected any physical evidence or proof of the wood devils. But in a rural community where stories spread like wildfire through local circles, the wood devils live on.
Okay.
Skeptics and believers alike wonder if the wood devils are a figment of the imagination, or if, like Bigfoot, they are a species that has yet to be fully discovered. But if you ask any longtime resident of Coos County, they'll tell you that the woods hold an incomprehensible amount of secrets, including the wood devils. But yeah, that's pretty much for New Hampshire. They didn't have jack shit, so yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna pop on to Maine.
Alright.
Maine's urban legend comes in the form of Colonel Buck's cursed tomb located in Bucksport and dates back to when the town's founder, Colonel Jonathan Buck, was laid to rest in the local cemetery.
Alright.
So we have another John.
Okay. Unfortunate.
You see, it is unfortunate. The colonel's grave is said to be perpetually marked by the stain of a leg, but not just anyone's leg, the leg of a local woman who was accused of witchcraft.
Katie, you're not going to believe this.
Do you know this one?
No, but New Hampshire, I did the wood devils for cryptids.
Well, apparently they weren't very memorable.
I was like, that sounded really familiar. I went back to the pictures.
You know what? I am here for it because it aligns perfectly with the whole you see them, you blink, and they're gone thing.
Literally,
apparently that's how it was in my memory.
They leave your memory immediately, guys. But throwback to the first cryptids episode.
I tried so hard. Like, there were other ones that came up in these states, and I was like, no, we totally did them.
Yeah.
And New Hampshire literally only had one thing. And it was the Wood Devils. So apparently I was just like, fuck it.
You probably did. You expanded more upon what I did, because I kind of just explained what they looked like and stuff like that, and that they're not Sasquatch. So you further expanded our cryptids episode way back.
That was a long time ago, that one, wasn't it?
That was like 60 episodes ago.
Oh my
70.
gosh.
Because it's like...
Oh, no fucking way.
Within the first
That's
20
crazy.
episodes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
hilarious.
I hope you appreciate that throwback. If you want to
Hilarious.
hear more about the cryptids, if you haven't actually listened to the series already, head on back.
Yeah.
But main story states that Colonel Buck, a powerful and influential man, who I want to call Colonel Fuck over and over
Colonel
again,
Buck,
just because
Colonel
his
Buck.
last name, was ruling over a local witchcraft trial.
Oh, great.
As we know from our exploration of the Salem witch trials, all it took for all hell to break loose was a mere accusation. Buck, being the stereotypical white man at the time, condemned the woman to death, and she was executed not long after.
Okay. How did he end up
The
with her
kicker-
leg?
That's the kicker. Is that before taking her final breath, she cursed Colonel Buck
Oh, shit.
and declared that when he was put to rest, his tomb would forever be marked as proof of his cruelty.
Whoa. Damn.
On the day of Buck's funeral, sure as shit, a stain in the shape of a leg appeared on his tombstone.
So...
Like, it was not there prior to that tombstone being set on the ground where he was being laid to
So what
rest.
did her leg have to do with anything, though? That's so random.
Maybe that was what got her witch.
Maybe he
craft
saw her
accusation.
ankle
That's what I'm saying.
and was like, she's literally a witch because she's gross and sexy, and I hate her, but I want to fuck her. Because that's what a lot of...
I don't
like,
know.
If you ever... I can't remember who the guy's name is, but I talk about him in the witch trial episode. No. There's an artist, I think he was German, who would make basically, like, witch porn.
Oh, you did talk about this.
It, like, hundreds of years ago, literally when people were like, witches are evil, and he was making these, like, quote-unquote evil artworks of witches, and of course they're always butt-ass naked and doing something really erotic and disgusting, and they were literally using it as porn, and, like, I totally see in this case, like, this guy did something wrong, like, he did something horrible to this woman, and basically blamed on her and sentenced her to death, and that's why she said that, because I think somebody else knew what happened to this poor woman, and so when she died, he's living life like, this is great, I got rid of the one witness that I thought there was, and then as soon as he dies, whoever heard the curse or knew about it or something, they probably did something, because they knew but were too afraid to speak out. Maybe it was another woman or something, but...
Maybe.
That's how I totally see this.
I will ride with that story.
Because nobody
because
just...
mine was like...
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Maybe she kicked somebody in the fucking shin because they pissed her off, or like maybe a dog bit her, and because she didn't get rabies, they were like, she's a witch.
No,
like, those were my two guesses.
I definitely think, well, especially around that time, you have your focus on religious temptation, And, like,
true.
everything is super religious. So, the fact that you perceive temptation, the person who is tempting you, even if they're completely unaware of the temptation that they're causing you, it's their fault. And you're sinning because of them. So, like, I totally see that being the case.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
Yeah.
Now, the members of the town were shaken. I mean, like, rightfully so.
Mhm.
They were there when this woman was put to death, so they heard her curse him. And they were, again, all there when he was being laid to rest years later.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
And despite hours of harsh harsh scrubbing and chiseling away at the frickin' headstone,
Damn.
this mysterious stain refused to disappear.
Interesting.
It was apparent to the townspeople that the woman's curse had stuck. To this day, Bucksport visitors make the trek to the infamous grave, some claiming that the stain has gotten darker over the years, the curse strengthening as the years have gone on. Other people claim to hear whispers as they stand near Buck's grave.
You know,
whether or not there's a...
I was gonna say, you know, I wonder if it was, like, just some type of mold that occurs on whatever type of stone.
It definitely could be, or somehow maybe, like, the stone got disturbed in transportation, and I don't know. There's plenty of different things. I'm sure at the time, since it's Maine, and this is a while back, I want to say the stone was probably just harvested from, like, a local quarry.
Yeah. It probably already had that stain.
Entirely possible.
It probably had the stain to begin with, and they instantly forgot and didn't care and put a bunch of meaning into this one thing that they noticed.
Which is incredibly possible, because it's Maine.
Yeah.
What's happening there?
During apparent witch trial time, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether or not there actually is a marking on the Colonel's tombstone, the woman got her wish. No one can forget Buck's cruelty as long as this urban legend lives on.
True.
So, whether or not, like, that's actually her curse, or her curse is literally just ruining his memory for all time, who knows? But seems successful to me.
Honestly, slay.
Right? Last up is Rhode Island.
Okay!
And this one's interesting.
Is it a vampire?
No.
Okay, good. Just checking. I'm just looking through the list to make sure that we didn't have any duplicates now.
There was a vampire that came up for this.
Mercy Brown.
Like, we talked about that one.
Yep.
Yeah. It was Mercy Brown. And I was like, yeah, we talked about this. As much as I want to, I can't do it again. Yeah. So, our final urban legend of the day brings us to New England's smallest state, Rhode Island. Located in Smithfield, Rhode Island, are the remnants of Hampton City, a ghost town reportedly overflowing with mystery.
Interesting.
Hampton City was established in the late 17th century and was founded by a group of outcasts seeking refuge from their bullies and abusers.
What? What does that even mean?
Because even back in the 17th century, people were absolute fucking shitheads.
So, were they, like, teenagers? Why are they using the term bullies?
I'll say yes, but teenagers at that point were still young adults.
Yeah.
So.
But also, how the fuck does Rhode Island have the space for a ghost town?
Right?
It's so little.
It is tiny. But, like, part of it will, be explained, like, literally in the next sentence as to who this group of people is.
Okay.
So, too many living in the amount of seclusion Hampton City offered might be unappealing, but to this group of escaped slaves and misfits, it was the perfect place to call home. So they were purposely trying to be elusive.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, bullies? Like, I was like, that's such a random word to use, but okay. I gotcha.
So pretty much these people escaped through the Underground Railroad, which I believe Rhode Island was a hot spot for the Underground Railroad.
I think most,
in the
like,
17th century.
Vermont,
most New England states, for the most part.
Which New England was, like, not even New England. It was, like, just Vermont and, like, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts.
I feel like I'm, like, dropping all the fun facts today.
Yeah.
Up in front of the, at the two houses at the end of my driveway,
Yeah.
there is a series of tunnels that connect all of the homes at the, like, right off the street.
Yo, what?
And it is believed that these underground tunnels were actually used during the Underground Railroad, so all the houses were connected.
Can you get in them?
They're closed off now.
Fuck, I was gonna say, we should...
Yeah.
We
They closed them off.
hunt them. Investigate.
Yeah, and I definitely would not want to go in the ones at the people at the front of my driveway, because they're, like, crackheads. And
Oh, God. That would not be good.
I believe that the one that connects the two houses at the end of my driveway, they have somehow managed to unwall.
Oh, God.
So they can smuggle them from one house to the next.
Wait, so does your basement connect to it somehow?
No, my parents dug my basement.
Oh, okay. Yeah, their house
By
is
hand,
newer. Yeah.
Yeah, the ones up at the end of the street are quite old.
Yeah.
Well, the ones there now are built on top of whatever settlement used to be there before.
Yeah.
So they're newer than the tunnels itself. But, yeah, that's
interesting.
fun fact.
Oh my God, imagine buying one of those houses. Like, imagine somebody buying one of those houses and they have, like, an entrance
just be like, surprise!
to a damn tunnel. That's like that movie Barbarian. Fucking horrifying.
It's not for me, but to each their own.
Totally recommend that movie. It is a mindfuck. It's so weird and so creepy.
I will think about it.
It's scary.
Numerous tales have been passed down through the generations, some claiming that these settlers built their homes deep in the woods away from prying eyes so they could live off the land, hunting, farming, and maintain their desired peace. So they just really didn't want to be disturbed.
Yep.
As it goes with many newly established New England towns and villages, harsh winters put their resolve and ingenuity to the test. But Hampton City's residents were very resourceful, constructing makeshift homes out of whatever materials they could find.
Mm-hmm.
And they effectively created a hidden village that thrived off the need for survival.
That's cool.
And they survived for quite some time. We have another old journal that references this story.
Okay.
So this journal is from one resident named Jeremiah, and he detailed how this unlikely group banded together to survive and how he stumbled upon the barely there remains of Hampton City while on a hike one morning. Jeremiah didn't write too much of substance, but he wrote about stone foundations and crumbling chimneys that were barely visible through the overgrown foliage.
Interesting.
So even if you were to stumble on Hampton City when you were on a hike, you might not even know it was there because the overgrowth is just so prominent.
So how did it get its name?
Apparently there is, like, record of it.
Oh, interesting.
Somewhere. But it seems fitting, at least to me, that a town that enjoyed its seclusion and secrecy quietly faded away with time, effectively erasing Hampton City from the map as, like, time went on.
So they just naturally, like, died off?
Yeah, I guess.
Or left?
Yeah, it doesn't say that there was, like, any, like, immediate misfortune or anything that befell the
But we don't
little
actually
village, so.
know what happened. And people are iffy
But we don't.
about it even existing?
Kind of,
Okay.
yeah. So that's what earns its place on the urban legend list, essentially.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's kind of like Roanoke.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
A little
Roanoke,
similar, yeah.
I think Roanoke is different. Well, we should definitely cover it at some point. But I know specifically some of the things that were found were in a state of people were in the middle of doing things and they just suddenly stopped.
Yeah.
You know?
I definitely want to cover Roanoke at some
It's
point.
totally aliens! It's totally aliens! No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, Ryan,
No.
calm down.
Aliens!
I actually think I started writing that episode at one point and then just, like, stopped and went on to something else.
I think it would be fun. I think people would be
I am
interested.
definitely going to do it at some point.
Yeah. Okay.
It would be fun. Nonetheless, stories of its ghostly presence continue into our modern day. Some locals claiming that the spirits of the founders still wander the long-abandoned pathways between the, stone houses and crumbling foundations.
So it's a legitimate place you can go to.
I guess so, yeah.
Interesting.
It might not be easy to get there, but you could definitely make your way.
I mean, it's Rhode Island. Do they have a mountain there?
Some hills.
I was gonna say.
But nothing like Vermont.
Yeah. So,
sure.
how hard could it be? It's so small. I feel like...
You're like, let's find out.
It's literally the size of our county. We could do it, Katie.
Fuck it. Others tell stories of unexplained voices, which is pretty standard of these things. Yep. The legend continues to captivate locals and visitors alike to this day, so if you ever find yourself in Smithfield, Rhode Island, it may be worth investigating this one yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And from the sounds of it, we might be doing just that at some point. But that's it, friends.
Yo!
The first episode of our Urban Legends miniseries.
I want to do a birthday shout-out.
Okay.
Today is Rosalind Franklin's birthday. She was the one who basically discovered or wrote down the understanding of the molecular structures of DNA.
Damn! Shout out Rosalind.
Shout out! The woman discovered the DNA sequence.
Which makes so much sense.
It's so cool.
I love that.
She's British, though.
Shout out to Rosalind. Let's give a round of snaps for Rosalind.
Even though she's British.
Shout out.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, boy. Well, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you're looking forward to the remaining 6 episodes as much as I am. But before we officially wrap this one up, I want to give Nat the chance to share her thoughts or any other, just comments other than things about Rosalind.
So nothing more about Rosalind besides Queen. But, I think we should rate on a scale.
Okay.
Because we did it with cryptids, so let's just do it here.
All right.
So I don't know what kind of scale we want to use for this episode. Maybe 1 out of 10 mountain folk.
It works for me.
Okay. Just for this episode, we could decide on something else.
We'll change per episode.
Yeah. I don't know if
it
might make sense to do rankings after we've gone through all of them, right?
I think
it's like when you create a tier list.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, let's go through the list again, just like the names, and then we'll discuss.
Okay. So we have Vermont's Frozen Hill people.
10 mountain folk out of 10.
I was going to say 12 mountain folk
True.
out of 10.
True. That one, crazy.
It was fucking nuts.
It took us 20 minutes to get through it.
I know. It was so good. I loved it.
Okay.
And then we have the Wizard's Glen and Devil Altar.
1.
From Massachusetts.
1 out of 10. Negative, if I could. 0, if I could.
I will give the location itself a solid, 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
But the legend itself, because fuck John.
The legend is a negative infinity. Yes. A negative 3,000 aura. I felt it 10 scrolls away.
I will give it a negative 1738 because
yes,
that's what the Christians' beliefs were implemented.
Oh,
and then we have the Wood Devils from Coos County, New Hampshire.
Literally so hilarious that we got But okay,
I'll give it a 1 because it was so unremarkable.
That's okay. So 4 because I think it's hilarious that there's just giant stick bug, creepy little motherfuckers running around. But also 4 because it's just not notable. We literally forgot. We literally forgot that we covered it. Oh man.
Then we have Colonel Buck's Cursed Tomb from Maine. I'll give that one, the legend itself, like a solid 7 out of 10.
I agree. I was gonna say 6, but 7 because female power.
Yes.
Divine feminine
we love
energy.
that she got her wish. And then lastly, we had the ghost town of Hampton City from Rhode Island.
Honestly, 8. Because I think it's...
I was going to say the same thing.
I think it's really cool. Very interesting.
I find it incredibly neat, like you said, that a state as small as Rhode Island
can have a ghost town.
For a ghost town.
Yeah, that's so crazy to me.
So,
but I guess they have, like, woods and stuff, right?
They do. They do. They're, like, I'd say few and far between, but they definitely do have them. They're more, coastal, so they have more, like, beaches and, like, marshes and things like that.
But also, don't they have, like, a big city?
Yes.
Because I know they have, like, a huge, drag...
JWU's there, so...
What?
JWU, Johnson & Wales University.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, I was gonna say that they have a huge drag and gay community.
In Provincetown.
Which is Rhode Island.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So that's their, like, one big city area.
Yep. Province is very large by
That's why
Rhode
I was
standards.
like, that's so confusing how... Well, I mean, this is hundreds of years ago. But how they haven't done anything with that area.
Maybe it's, like, in a national park of some sort. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Because if it is, then they can't touch it.
I feel like my brain is making them feel tinier than they are. They are, like, southern Vermont.
Fair. I mean,
they're, like,
you pretty much
southern.
drive through Rhode Island, so you blink and you're done.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's what I got. So, hope everybody liked it. I had fun. Can't wait to do the rest of them.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I can't promise when the next one's going to be. I have a couple different ideas that I want to do. But I think I'm going to try and punch through writing them. So, like, maybe we'll have something on the back burner.
Yep.
If we have, like, a lull and we don't have something to record. But, yeah. Other than that, if you want more Wading Into the Void content, follow us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram at Wading Into the Void. You can also find us on YouTube by searching Wading Into the Void. We will be there. We will have
content soon.
Yeah.
In the next month and a half.
Soon. Yeah. We should have a couple good ones, I would say. Yeah. Before the end of the year.
Oh,
so
yeah, because we're planning
stay tuned for that. That'll be fun.
I said, oh yeah, because we're planning another thing. Ooh.
Yes. yes. We have some fun stuff coming down the line.
Yes.
So pumped.
Yes,
but, yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Oh, and I almost forgot our big announcement.
Oh?
I slaved away for days at a time.
Yes.
Reworking our frickin' website.
Yes.
And I am so happy with it. So, go check it out. It's still at the same domain, www.wadingintothevoid.com.
Oh, yeah.
And you will find so much more on there. Not only do we have links to wherever you can listen to Wading Into the Void, the podcast, but we also have little informational tidbits. So, we introduced our paranormal team officially there. We gave a little background on the two of us and how the Wading Into the Void podcast got started. And we even added a contact feature, which we chatted about briefly, I believe, in the last episode, where you can actually submit episode requests, ask for our investigative assistance, and just share any feedback if you felt like doing so. So, definitely go check it out.
Yes.
Once again, it's www.wadingintothevoid.com. Yeah, so other than that, hope you tune in next time, and nice chatting with you.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.